On July 10th, 2021, a high-speed pursuit out of Coweta County was already underway near mile marker 44 on I-85 South. As the vehicle approached the southbound way station, a trooper made contact and joined the chase. That's when the suspect shut the headlights and dangerously cut across the Gore and median, fleeing onto I-185 South at over 140 miles per hour. Even with the trooper applying constant pressure and attempting pit again and again, the suspect managed to block every move. But what he forgot is that you can't make sharp turns at those speeds.
Alright, I got you saying by 8:50. Never mind, we're driving back out of it. We're driving back out. We're still southbound. He tried to exit at 34. Alright, he's cut back up the embankment. We're going back up toward top of 34 now.
Clear, cutting up the embankment, exit 34.
He's making a right on State Route 18.
Clear, turning right on the 18.
Making a U-turn, cut through the median. We're coming back towards the interstate. Back.
Y'all going northbound or southbound?
We're back southbound.
We're on southbound.
The trooper finally made contact with the suspect's vehicle, but it wasn't enough to stop him. Still, it was just enough to slow him down. And that opened the door for another trooper to close the gap and move in.
Alright. I just touched him again. Alright, he's still in it.
Well, take time. Yeah, go for it.
Wow, this one ended wild. After trying to re-enter the interstate, the suspect was pinned by a trooper and pushed into the woods, crashing into a tree. He jumped out through the rear window and ran, but was quickly caught after a short foot chase. Inside the car, a passenger with warrants and a 4-year-old child, who was safely taken by EMS. At the hospital, the driver admitted to smoking weed while driving and said this wasn't his first time running and that he'd do it again. He was later booked into the Harris County Jail. On July the 16th, 2024, Sergeant Isaac with the BAT unit spotted a Chevy Impala making an erratic lane change near Terra Boulevard and Flint River Road. Clayton County Sergeant Lamb attempted a traffic stop, but the driver, later identified as James Lee Mason, had other plans. He sped through a parking lot trying to flee. Sergeant Isaac took the lead, pursuing Mason northbound on Terra Boulevard at speeds over 70 miles per hour.
You're making a right turn. Get back on Terra Boulevard. We'll be going northbound. It's gonna be a white Impala. Speeds will be 105 right now. Coming up to North Avenue.
Jonesboro Road, Citizens Public. 1640, I'm gonna pick it up. How close? Jonesboro Boulevard from Highway 138. Taking a right on North Ave. A right on North Ave from South Boulevard, just down North Ave, South Boulevard. Speed is 22. Keep on traffic.
During the pursuit, the suspect had already collided with one vehicle, but that didn't stop him. He continued pushing forward, completely disregarding the safety of others on the road, including his own, and this chase was only getting more dangerous by the second.
McGill County today. Made a right on Dixie Drive.
That's it.
Dead end, Dixie Drive. Still going. It'll be 138 now, 138. Tire damage has been Southern Drive. Eastbound 138. And by the 50. Jonesboro Road from Highway 138. Jonesboro Road from 138.
Hey, watch out. Let me get him again. Watch out.
It's like storage. Jonesboro Road.
Sergeant Isaac conducted a second pit, this time sending the suspect's vehicle crashing into a fence and a brick sign at Life Storage. The impact disabled the vehicle, finally bringing the dangerous pursuit to an end.
Climb out the window. Climb out. I'm saying, climb out the window. Climb out the window. Climb out the window. My seat won't move. My seat won't move.
James Lee Mason was taken into custody without injury. A second occupant, James Pratt, was removed from the front passenger seat and detained until the scene was secured. EMS arrived and cleared Mason for transport to the Clayton County Jail, while Pratt refused medical evaluation. Mason was charged with multiple offenses, including reckless driving, fleeing and eluding, and several traffic violations. He was booked without incident. As for James Pratt, after being checked out, he was released from the scene. On November 16, 2024, one woman casually walked into a random funeral home, then was caught on camera changing clothes before stealing a white Mustang that belonged to the funeral director. Troopers were notified about the stolen vehicle, and 6 hours later, one trooper finally spotted it. What started as a bizarre theft was about to turn into a high-speed chase.
Yep, pit. 41.
The trooper executed a pit maneuver, sending the stolen Mustang crashing into a concrete wall before finally coming to a stop. The woman behind the wheel looked completely stunned, likely just realizing how far things had spiraled out of control.
Got one at gunpoint. Put your hands up. Put both of them up. You drop your hands again, you're gonna get shot. Climb out. Ran for the wrong county. Yeah, screwed up.
The suspect, later identified as Charlotta King, was removed from the vehicle and taken into custody without further incident. She was medically evaluated at Southern Regional Hospital, then transported to the Clayton County Jail. On November 25, 2025, Corporal Rutledge spotted a stolen vehicle in Rockdale County, Georgia. But this wasn't just any stolen car. Behind the wheel was a suspect who had already led deputies on multiple chases in just the past week, and this time things were about to heat up even more.
Black Mitsubishi 2286, you clear. 097 Yankee Zebra out of Kentucky.
What's the 34? All right.
Traffic is light. Clear to purchase.
Once the suspect made it onto the main road, Corporal Rutledge went for a pit, knowing this driver was getting more dangerous by the second. But if you think that was the end of it, think again. What this suspect was about to do in the next few minutes will leave you speechless. Get ready, because it only gets crazier from here.
Into the CVS parking lot. Second degree, then by taking
At this point, it was obvious that the suspect needed to be stopped as fast as possible. But with only one patrol car in the pursuit, that wasn't going to be easy. To make matters worse, traffic was heavy, leaving Corporal Rutledge with no safe window to execute a pit. The suspect kept weaving through cars, turning this chase into a high-risk game of survival.
Traffic still light. Where's it? It's down on the wrong side of the road.
Finally, Corporal Rutledge managed to stop the suspect's vehicle, forcing it off the road and landing it on its side in a ditch. But the chase wasn't over just yet. The suspect was still on the move and hadn't been arrested.
Show me your hands! I will shoot you! Show me your hands now! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Get out!
I only got one.
Get out!
I'm trying to get out.
Get out now!
You said get out. I'm trying to get out.
You do anything else, I will shoot you. Get on the ground!
Can I get out first?
Get on the f***ing ground!
Can I get out first?
Now!
Damn.
On the ground! Get on the f***ing ground! 1080 on foot! Get on the ground! For a beat your Get on the ground, Travis! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get up again! Get up again!
The suspect was eventually arrested and taken to the Rockdale County Jail. He was charged with fleeing or attempting to elude, reckless driving, and driving on the wrong side of the road. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 3 years of probation. On top of that, he was found guilty of stealing the very car used in the pursuit, adding another 5 years of probation to his sentence. It started like any other setup, trooper waiting in a church parking lot. But the second the suspect passed by, everything changed. The driver of the Blazer hit the gas, blew through a red light, and nearly caused a crash. That's when the trooper knew this wasn't just reckless driving. Lights and sirens went on. The pursuit had officially begun. The suspect's vehicle left the roadway, hit a driveway culvert at full speed, went airborne, flipped twice, and landed upside down in a ditch. Troopers arrived with weapons drawn and found the driver, Walter Passmore, trapped, his head pinned between the dashboard and windshield. Firefighters had to cut him out of the wreckage. An open bottle of vodka was found in his lap. Nearby deputies also discovered a black bag in the ditch containing meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. More suspected narcotics were later found under the flipped vehicle. Walter was airlifted to Atlanta Medical Center with life-threatening injuries, but was pronounced dead later that night. On July 16, 2024, an officer attempted a traffic stop, but the suspect had no intention of stopping. Although a pursuit wasn't initiated at first, the officer canvassed the area and eventually found the vehicle. But when he tried a felony stop, the suspect rammed the patrol car, leaving no choice but to launch a full-blown pursuit.
Metro 126, we're calling from Mount Hope. Plays to be Edward Union George 1088. Approaching Mount Hope, Edward Union George 1088. Stop 6 approved, action.
Set up Green River, open this area.
He just rammed the barricade, through the barricade.
Rammed the barricade, approaching Grand River.
126, rammed the same barricade. We're going to be westbound Grand River.
Westbound Grand River. Down Grand.
Westbound Grand River, Saginaw.
Metro 126, we're the wrong way on Grand River right now.
The suspects weren't driving at a high rate of speed and the road stayed mostly clear throughout the chase. Still, the trooper held off on using a pit, maybe thinking the suspect might just pull over on their own.
Saginaw, Wisconsin.
Good.
126, we're slowing to a stop here at Princeton. Alright, taking off.
Copy, starter, slow down, I'll take off again.
Northbound through Willow.
Northbound through Willow.
Silver G6. One headlight missing. Step on.
First of all, northbound speeds are 60. No traffic. Looks like his front passenger tire might be out. We're gonna go westbound.
Front passenger tire.
Central on 26. Those are right here. Southbound shot on Waverly. Check that with me. Westbound.
Okay.
Through the McDonald's parking lot southbound.
Into the parking lot southbound.
Southbound Waverly.
Southbound Waverly.
Central on 26. Looks like we're going to be taking Marketplace. Southbound.
Southbound Marketplace.
While waiting for backup, the trooper began slowly putting pressure on the suspect, creeping closer with every turn. At one point, he even tried to end the chase himself, hoping to get close enough for a clean takedown.
And the passenger tire is now parking. Going down Marketplace. Back passenger hand out the window. Partly drop on.
Back at the ball, there's still a UFA, but they're coming up to probably Central Boulevard right now.
Just moments after another trooper took over as the primary unit, the suspect lost control and crashed. But they weren't about to give up that easy, because even after the wreck, they had one more move left in them.
Braking. It's driving the wrong way, eastbound St. Joe. Doors open. Doors open. Foot bail, foot bail.
Doors open, bailing.
You're the driver. Yep.
He's going back westbound. Running in northbound. Thank you. Behind 604. You better stop, you're gonna get tased! Get on the ground! Tehran, get on the ground! Now! Get on the ground! Now! Hands out! On your belly! On your belly! Hands behind your back!
The pursuit lasted roughly 18 minutes before the suspects crashed. The driver, Taryn Gentry, and front passenger, Shaquan Fry, took off on foot, but they didn't get far. Both were quickly arrested. The rear passengers were cited for open intoxicants found in the vehicle. Taryn and Shaquan were transported to Sparrow Hospital for evaluation. Shaquan was cleared and released, but Taryn had to be admitted for a drug overdose.